Live on RK3 Designs, but I'm in Oregon. I miss my family out in Texas. It's way nicer out there, and there's much more helpers. Keith, Rhonda, Clara, Erica, Jeff, I need you. I'm stuck, I'm mixing, I'm running late. I got a cool treat for you guys today. We are making a sweet little epoxy countertop technique, mainly using my gloved fingers, some micas and dyes, and I'm gonna bust out the magic trowel. I told Rhonda I'd send her some of these, and then I put a link in one of my videos using the magic trowel, and we sold the vendor out of them. So, Rhonda, I tried to order you some the other day. They're still sold out. I got some coming, I promise. The magic trowel is a tool I use for floors. It's this little guy. I cut it up into 4 pieces because they're about 18 inches big, but it's a silicone tip trowel that does a really good job of pulling colors over the others. Like Rhonda does the melted marble technique. This little tool is super awesome for that same technique. And to me, it pulls the resin in a little bit different way. Maybe because it's the silicone tip, I don't really know. I don't know how it works, but I do know it does work. Today, I'm going to make a pink, silver, gray, and white countertop, like a cultured marble, that's gonna level up that pink 1970s cultured marble. We're gonna blow it out of the water right now on this live. I got my alloy mixed up. I got pink metallic. I got some white. I don't know if it's gonna work or not. This is kind of a wild card. Violet pearl. We'll see how it works. You guys be the judge. And how is the audio working for y'all? I'm going off a different mic than I normally do. I'm tied up to my cell phone. Let me know how the audio is going. And also let us know in the comments below where the heck you're watching from. And if you have any questions for me, go ahead and ask them. I have Chris, the man, the myth, the legend behind the camera today. It's so awesome to see him back over here in Stone Coat territory, filming for Rhonda and I. Rhonda has been out on a well-deserved vacation, hanging out with ATD in Texas. Hello, Violet Pearl. That looks cool. Check that out. I've been wanting to do like like all the pearls in one piece. I have been too nervous to try it, but what the heck am I doing? Just bite the bullet. Don't be nervous, like Rhonda says, right? Go with it. Okay, I got my white, my pink, my alloy, and my violet pearl metallic. Holy cow, I don't know if that's gonna work. So in this bigger bucket, I'm gonna make a custom gray color. I've been digging that. So I start out with pure white dye, a few drops, more than a few. Mix that up thoroughly. And the black can quickly take over, guys. So I just I'll add some to my table, dip my stick in and bring it in that way. Otherwise, I've done this and I've made way too dark of a gray really fast. Actually, I'll just put it on this stick so I don't mess up my plastic. Getting black dye all over my set. Guys, RK3, is this your first shot of my new pretty set? I don't know if y'all have seen this yet. We did this at RK3. That was a fun collab, and then I said, well, I'm stealing this idea. I'm doing it to my shop. Okay, see that? Tiny bit of black. I just dipped the tip, just the tip, into the epoxy, and now I'm coming into my white. Dang, see it? Come take a, no, can you guys tell? You probably can't. Compared, that's very light gray. I think I'm gonna go just a tad bit more, and then I'm gonna start putting this product on the board. I mixed up about 3-4 ounces per square foot. I'm not taping the edges or any of that because I'm not doing an exotic pour. I'm gonna pour these colors out kind of randomly in bigger blobs. I'll do a little melding with my hands and then a little melding with that magic trowel. And then we're gonna start leveling this project up. Let me get my colors set off to the side and we're ready to start pouring. These lives aren't the same without Kenny and Rhonda, man. I'm telling you, I'm missing them. Same with Clara, all that crew. I have been absolutely loving my time out in Texas, assisting with Rhonda on those hands-on training courses. If you're on the fence with that, I would recommend doing it. I mean, Not only are you learning a bunch of epoxy, but I stay in close contact with a bunch of the people from that class on my cell phone. It's been so fun. They're sharing projects. We're sharing ideas. You become part of the family out there. Enough yapping, Mitch. Let's get to pouring. So I'm gonna start with just my gray, and I'm gonna kind of just go randomly with this. Oh boy. I'm gonna do a little spreading before I add more. That's a pretty great color. And the paint I'm using, I'm building a brand new kitchen set here at the shop. So it's bare paint and primer in one, tinted like a brownish gray. So that's why we don't sell this color, but I had a roller and I might as well said, I'm just gonna paint this board with it. And it works, I like the color. It's gonna look good under my pink, with my pink. I'm gonna do a little violet pearl in some of this gray too.
Lots of hellos from Keith from KCD.
Keith, what's up, my man? I miss you, bro. I need you here. It's not the same without you. I'm always nervous doing epoxy with Keith. That guy is good at making countertops. I'm not nervous because he shares his ideas like we do. That's what the whole epoxy thing's about. If you could come across an epoxy guy that doesn't want to tell you how he made that countertop, you're in the wrong epoxy group. All right, holy pink. Oh my gosh, I don't know about this, folks. But that's what we hear. That's why I'm here, guys. I'm going to test the wild colors for you. I don't know if that's gonna work. Now you're gonna know if you wanna try this or not, right here live on RK3 Designs, all the way out here on location in Southern Oregon. It is winter out here, so before I started mixing this resin, I heated it up in front of a space heater for like 15 minutes. I was about that far away from the space heater, and I rotated those bottles. That's gonna bring that cold temperature up, which makes the resin flow better. It helps it meld, all sorts of stuff. Let's add some white. You guys are thinking this is bad. I already could tell, but just wait till I start melting. All right. I'm just gonna start kind of melding this with my fingertips. You wanna keep from over melding, just kind of coming in super light. Did they say the audio was good, Chris? Everything sounded good?
Yeah, everything's going swimmingly.
All right, beautiful. Any dry areas, just kind of get them wet with resin, and then it's going to continue to self-level and flow. I'm going to meld this section with my hand, and then I'll come start melding up there with that trowel. That gray is cool. Okay, where's that trowel at right here? Here's a pro tip I learned from Rhonda out at her classes. Chris just saw me make this. Bam! Those are towels that are pre-wetted down with isopropyl alcohol. Such a good pro tip. Fun fact, learned over at RK3 Designs. Works so good because now I could grab stuff without getting the resin absolutely everywhere. And this is what I'm looking for, my magic trowel. So now I'm gonna start pulling colors. I'm gonna show you the difference of this stuff. So you just start kind of coming over with it, pulling one color over the other.
Can you go over the colors being used again?
Colors being used, ooh, I almost got epoxy on my overalls. The colors are violet pearl, boom. This is a custom gray I made with like 98% white dye and 2 tip worths of black dye. And that's alloy, white dye, and pink. Polka dots, let's go back to work. So all those can be found over at rk3designs.com or at Stone Coat. But go support RK3 because when she wins, we win. We love Rhonda. I'll tell you a little story. When Mike left the company, I kind of found out while watching the live with everyone else. And I was in shock. I knew this was our battle plan eventually, right? I was gonna, you know, Mike wanted to retire, spend some time with his kids and wife out in Hawaii because his wife and him put in so much work building this business up. I mean, William just left their house, their oldest boy, so they didn't want to, they wanted some time with their family, which they deserve. And he goes live, he announces that, and the first person to call was Rhonda. And that means a lot to me. That was really, really sweet. I was in shock. She called to tell me I got this. Rhonda, you don't know how much that means to me. I still doubt if I do. But I think back to that, and it warms my heart. This looks crazy. So that was a little story I haven't told anybody. Don't tell anyone. I'm sensitive inside. You won't know that. All right, hit my edges. I'm gonna rub my edges. I'm gonna get those wet. And I just kind of pick up drips below. Usually how I do it. I'll wet that down because now everything's gonna continue to self-level over this project. Those colors, kind of wild, bro. I don't know about this. We're gonna see what we could do though with some alcohol. We're gonna see what we could do with some maybe fog and fracturing. But don't forget those edges. You do that, it's gonna bite you in the butt later. Get them wet. The resin is now gonna flow. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Help me. We had a technical difficulty.
good thing I'm here.
Yes. Did you get resin on you?
Nope.
Attaboy. That's a professional right there. All right. I'm gonna grab some heat. I'm gonna remove some of my air bubbles. And are there any questions? Are you asking any questions?
Okay.
I'm actually gonna,
Really liking it.
I'm gonna come give it a little.
Luke is here helping moderate.
So I do this too on a skip trowel. See how it adds some, it'll add some movement here and there, which gives it some organic, takes the man-madeness out of it, right? Ooh, that does look good. It kind of softens everything. See that? Woo!
There's a suggestion to put paint on your hand and drag it over.
Paint on my hand and drag. That's a kind of cool idea. I'm gonna save that for later. I'm gonna try that. Whoever gave that suggestion, good job. So I like that solid part. I'm gonna bring that over a little bit here. Boom.
Oh yeah, that solid white.
Mm-hmm. It kind of floated a bit. Mm-hmm. You could do that same thing, just pull colors over. Okay, let's grab some isopropyl. First, I'm gonna heat it up. So like Rhonda says, if I'm doing this for a customer, I'm going to wait on some steps as this and use the epoxy thickening up to my benefit. I'll let it thicken up before I mist. That way when it sells out, it doesn't dissipate and go away later on because it kind of settles. The actual micas and metallics are natural minerals and metals that will settle in the resin. So when you chop out that top and you come back and it settled a bit, if you wait, 30 minutes after you mixed and then chop, it's gonna start to thicken up as it goes and it's gonna mute out much less. I'm gonna grab a heat source. I like to use a propane torch, but you can also use a heat gun or any heat source to remove air. Oh yeah, that's coming next. I'm getting rid of my air bubbles. I'm gonna do the old Italiano Dracoulis. That pink kind of looks orange in there. I don't know about that. How the heck does it, maybe it's the gray. It's salmon. Doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like salmon.
It went from pink to salmon, but watch so keep the alcohol technique, guys, in your back pocket for nearly every single piece. especially melded colors like this, the alcohol brings it to life. And I learned this with Rhonda and ATD as well. The Italian drip, you fill that bad boy up and you drop heavy drips, because the combination of heavy to light is a cool technique. And now I'm gonna mist. Watch yourself, Chris. It's just alcohol. It'll just be disinfected. So I'm lightly pumping that spray nozzle. Boom. And that does all sorts of stuff with the dyes and the micas. Like, it just went up another level. I still am not the biggest fan of that pink. It looks too orangey. Okay. Maybe if I fracture line the orange, it will break it up. So every epoxy project, I'm utilizing a handful of techniques, right? You got the chop look, you got the melded look, you got the fog and fracture to granify the piece, you got the isopropyl alcohol, you could spray that paint stick, make a vein. There's all these little simple techniques that can stand alone on an epoxy piece, or you could tie them all together and it creates layered masterpieces like Rhonda can make. So I learned this as well from Rhonda. What she uses a little stick like this, which will do the same thing, but I'm gonna create little fracture lines. But what I like about this silicone tip trowel is you'll watch the epoxy kind of stick to it for a little longer. Like as I move it over, it lays down these little tiny fracture lines that you can't get any way else. And it looks absolutely fantastic. I just come and start going random directions. Do you see how it pulls up the resin a little bit? Get down low. So I'll come in and it pulls it up, boom. And then when that comes back and self-levels, it adds a whole nother layer and technique to make something that you may not like as much into something cool.
Vamp is saying to add glitter.
Add glitter? I'm out of epoxy and I don't know where to get any more. What's up, Vamp? Good to hear you in there. I need to start going live on my channel, huh? I don't have a camera guy like Chris to come help me with questions. Chris, you want to come help me on my channel?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Maybe I fog and fracture this bad boy too. But look what that did to the gray. Like, that's sweet to me. I can't get those tiny little fracture lines anywhere else. Oh, I love it. Like, I think that would look good up in here too, because it's adding a layer. Like, compare that to that. Big difference.
And detail.
Let's fog and fracture some too. Get out of there. So, what I learned too is I'm not a fan of the pink with this color scheme. I mean, it's okay, but I think the purple would look better without this pink. And it would look like a better piece. The fracture lines in the white are actually my favorite.
I don't mind the salmon.
You don't mind it?
Pink, like, yeah, someone was saying it was like a sort of a watermelon color almost.
A watermelon.
Though maybe more red or less red, like a little more orange.
I love watermelons. Watermelons are out of season now. Now I'm going to be thinking about watermelons till next summer.
Nice homegrown watermelon.
Yes. Okay, enough fracture lines. Let me get rid of those air bubbles. So that trowel does create air. So did y'all know that alcohol can pop air bubbles too. We'll refracture it and get bubbles at the same time. So I just did a giant floor. We're revamping and re-releasing. This is some back of house info. 2023 next year, yeah, holy cow. 2023, we're re-releasing a flooring epoxy. We have a brand new epoxy colored flake system for the garages in multiple colors. A super durable top coat to go over that. Also, we're adding a clear grit that you could add to the epoxy to give it a grip. It's almost like a water park at that point. You know how it's got a little grip, but it's still slippy. Keeps you from slipping and sliding. The epoxy is about as slippy as tile are when they're wet, minus the grout joints. So it's not like it's ice slippy, but the grip will definitely help for like outdoor applications. We have a polyaspartic top coat that is compatible outdoors, will never yellow. It's gonna be epic. And maybe I heard through the grapevine, this fella might be heading out to Texas to help teach an epoxy flooring class with Rhonda and Kenny. It's gonna be epic. I've already done a few tests. It's super good and very easy to put down. We developed a brand new moisture sealing epoxy. The very first coat that goes down, in the olden days, you had to worry about moisture coming up from below the concrete. So you had to ensure you had a vapor barrier, keeping the moisture out. Now, that's no problem. That first coat is bonds so well. It's been designed, you don't have to have moisture under there. It's never gonna fail. That product's coming out first quarter next year. If you have a floor that needs epoxy, hit me up in the comments below. I'm gonna be traveling around the country doing epoxy floors in all sorts of different humidities and climates to show that how that works. Now back to this one. Enough talking about Stone Coat. Look at how that looks though, bro. Those fracture lines bring it to a whole nother level. I almost wanna do the whole thing, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna do a fog and fracture now. What you think?
Wonderful. Coming along nice.
Yeah. They're wild colors, that's for sure. I'm gonna torch the air out. It's still coming up. All right, fog day fracture. Just gonna hit a small section to see how it'll work. Look. Oh my gosh. I almost did gloss dark walnut. Dark walnut. I thought it was black. Yeah, that would have been bad. Tell me that doesn't look like a black cap at first glance.
That looks pretty black.
But now if you look close, you could see. Whoo! What y'all think of the new setup?
That is so weird.
Hammered black. Mitch, where's normal black? Here it is. Metallic black. I like black around here. Gloss black. So gloss black, you could use various different colors to fog and fracture. There we go. But myself and Rhonda both agree that gloss black gives you the best results, easiest. So I stick with that one most of the time when I'm doing this technique. So I got a little surface tension right here. Whenever you see that, it's just a dry bit of epoxy. See how that's holding it up? You're gonna wanna wet that down to close that up. So just get it wet with your fingertip, and now it's gonna flow. That's what you wanna pay attention on those edges. But they look all good. See, I just smeared them with that wet epoxy initially. Now everything coming over, self-leveling over that. Those edges are gonna look great. All right, let me know in the comments below how many epoxy projects you've completed in your lifespan. Man, I would have to think about how many I've done. It's a lot, too many. That's a good question though. You've done more? You've done one? Chris has edited 500 epoxy projects and only mixed up epoxy one time. Chris!
Twice.
Twice!
No, I didn't mix it the second time.
You used it. All right, gloss black. So you could do this in multiple different ways. You could go really heavy and fracture or really light. It gives you totally different looks. I kind of do a combo of both, and so does Rhonda. She'll kind of have it darker in some areas and lighter in others. But I'm just gonna kind of hit this corner, see what it does. And if this was a project I was doing, I would wait a little bit as well on this project, on this step. Fog and fracture.
Yeah, someone's saying also could spray paint the trowel and drag
colors through? Let's try that. What color? Let me know what color. But I only have so many here. Probably a silver, maybe?
The white over...
White?
The white over the peach.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, the black.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yep, don't like it. Maybe as it continues to fracture to look all right, but no me gusta.
Peach.
Let that do its thing. It might redeem itself. Okay, I have never tried this technique. You're seeing it live for the first time with a great suggestion from a happy viewer. Thank you, viewer. I love this job. Let's try it. We're gonna spray heavy paint.
Funny coincidence.
Ooh, I like it. Whoever said that?
It was Vicky Salmon.
Vicky Salmon for the win. Oh, Vicky Salmon.
Coincidence with the salmon color.
Dang, girl. Atta girl. Ooh, yes. Wonder if I could fix this. I'm not gonna mess with that yet.
Rhonda's teaching well. Everyone's saying smear it if you don't like it.
Smear it. Should I do that? Let's see. We're testing here, folks. I'm testing my beautiful piece for you. I love the paint on the trowel, though.
That's why Vicky Salmon was repeated. It was actually...
Ooh, I don't know. That looks like doo-doo. But we're gonna resurrect it. Watch.
Very granular.
Mm-hmm.
Granulated.
I don't know, bro. Maybe we'll avoid that section.
Could chop it.
Yep, let's do that.
Or fracture it.
I'm gonna clean off this paint and I'll chop it again.
Fracture it with white.
Mm-hmm. So that's why, folks, you do a sample piece before you mix up a 2-gallon kit to do your countertop, and you think, ooh, it's gonna look so good. Do a small piece. Throw everything you're thinking on a board, and then you're gonna know what you're gonna like and what you don't like when you go to do your kitchen. So a lot of this I like. I would probably avoid the salmon, except it is kind of looking cool with the white. Let's see what chopping does over here. I don't think it's gonna save it. It's too muddy.
Yeah, I got
It's a mess.
But you're bringing up colors from underneath.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I could even do this. I got extras here.
Make it edge granite. Put a sink there. Oh.
There you go.
Yeah, just cut it out and make a cutout for a sink.
Yep, and then like you walk into the kitchen and here's the kitchen window, but your sink's installed over here. Oh. I don't know, folks. I've gone and done it. I've gone and done number 2 on this corner of my piece. It happens to the best of us. Don't give up. we're gonna trowel that now. See if that helps any. Let me clean that black off though.
Luke is saying hold like Braveheart.
Hold. I don't know, Luke.
Process.
I don't know, Luke. That black really didn't do so hot. And I keep grabbing all that. I don't like it.
Maybe gloved hand would work better. Less even.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's getting thin over here.
Keith is saying it's softening up and looking a bit better.
Oh, Keith, you're just trying to be nice. I know what you're doing.
It can be both, probably.
No, yeah, it's true.
It's probably both. Looking better and Keith is nice.
Yes. That silver does look better.
So yeah, between chamber effects, or you get epoxy on the hand and apply it that way.
Chamber effect? I've never even heard of that. Put it all over your hand? Like this?
The chambers effect? Yeah.
I thought the chambers effect was...
Or maybe those were unrelated to each other.
Yeah. It's getting muddy.
It's matching much better now, though.
Yeah, that black really screwed it up.
It's good showing how to save it.
Yeah, you kind of got to recover and just... And if I'm doing this in a house, I would give it some time and not try to gram it all in here so you guys are watching. But again, I keep coming back to this, right? That takes that man-made look and does some cool stuff because it's moving colors and exposing colors below where before it was kind of muddy. You guys ever heard this song? I can't sing it. I can't do it. Anyway, it was looking quite muddy or doo-doo. And now when you hit it with that alcohol, let me hit some bigger spots. It'll open up things and move colors below. Sell this whole thing out.
For the question earlier, how is 5 kitchens, 2 showers, 2 bathrooms,
Woo!
desktops, and other samples and craft projects?
Dang! That's an epoxy pro almost right there.
Yeah. How about tilting?
Tilting! I haven't done tilt in so long, but I'm down. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let me let that alcohol go. Maybe which way? What direction? This way or that way? Has anybody ever used alcohol for effects and light it on fire? Let me know that. Like where you put a stream and then you light the stream on fire? It does some stuff. Let me know if you want to see that. All right, I'm gonna tilt it that way, I think. No, that way.
How about towards you to get some of the black?
Oh, to get that off. Come on this side then. When you go to tilt, folks, warm it up. That's really gonna help.
Ready. I'm ready.
Whoa. Whoa. It's thickening up. It's cold in here. It ain't moving.
We're getting some drips. There you go. There you go. We're getting some runoff.
Bye.
It's working a little better. Like straight.
It's pulling the orange below, or the salmon. All right, I'm losing the piece. That is better. Good call on the tilty. All right, but now some of my fractures. I'm gonna add some fractures, and I think I'm calling it good before I take another number 2 all over the piece. While I'm doing some fracturing, let me know if there's any questions. See, look at that.
Yeah. Luke says it's goated.
Goated.
Better.
Ask Luke, did you come up with a title for the floor short? He literally, he's like, Mitch, what title should we go with? And I'm like, bro, I'm mixing up for Rhonda. Full send. I don't know if he sent it yet or not.
We got requests for fire.
Oh, I forgot I said that. Okay, I'll do it. We'll do it across there to see if it does it, but I might ruin it. I'm gonna fracture this though, because I really like the way that looks on this. See how it brings up the black? Like, I'm digging that. I'm sorry. It's one of my new favorite techniques, because I've done granite that has these baby fractures in it. And until I learned that technique from Rhonda at one of her classes, I didn't know how to make them so fine. Because whenever I'm adding paint into resin, like you spray the tip of your stick, you drag that through the resin, it's adding a lot of paint. And that's gonna make these fine lines poof out.
Have you fractured with white spray paint?
I have. It gets too speckly in my opinion for my taste. Some people do good at it. I am not a fan of the white speckle fog and fracture myself. It jumps out to me as really man-made.
He says it's more of a lacing effect.
Yeah, Keith, you stick with the white. I miss you, Keith, bro. If I don't harass you, it means I don't like you. All right, let's light some alcohol on fire. See what this will do to this piece. So it really works cool on, I've done it on pure like metallic chopped, because the heat makes the epoxy more fluid, which then will make that metallic look different. So if the whole piece is chopped and I did a heavy stream and lit it on fire, it added like these veins, or it was a unique way to add flow to the piece without adding any color to it.
You got drips on the drill, if that's all.
Oh, that is not good. Ah! Did somebody tell us about that, or did you? Was it a viewer?
That was Luke.
Luke, good call, bro. Oh, dear.
I didn't catch that.
Oh, boy. Well, I'm in trouble. Now it's on camera.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
On someone else's channel.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Any snitches?
This was an addition of Nathan. He's like, why don't you hook it on the table? I said, great idea, until I didn't think about the drips. Oh, boy. I love this.
You gotta have that pressing seal.
So the tilt helped hide that boo-boo a lot, because I actually love what this did. That looks great. So where should I'm gonna put my stream right through this. Because if it messes it up, we're good. It's already kind of, but now to follow this. Torch.
It's bubbling.
See how it moves the colors a little bit? And it's better on all metallics. Let me try over this metallic.
Kind of boils it.
Yeah, it'll soften it. It probably won't look as good on here as it did on the metallic piece.
Keeps the fire in the hole.
OSHA, look the other way. Mitch, is your epoxy heat resistant? Yes. Oh, the plastic though.
Not the plastic.
All right, don't play with fire. It kind of did some stuff.
Seething and boiling.
Cool.
I'm loving it.
Ooh,
We loving it.
that's cool.
That's so fun to watch.
I'm doing it on my fractures now.
I'm sure it's more fun in person than on.
Oh, I just stepped in resin. Golly.
I still have my shoes that are covered in resin on the bottoms.
Guys, is this a little bit different than you normally are used to at RK3 Designs Lives?
A little bit, probably. I don't know.
I hope y'all
How would I know?
do not unsubscribe based on my performance, please. All right, guys, let me know any comments or questions before I get the heck out of here. What did I learn today? I learned to not give up, because this does look way better than it did initially in that corner when I did that black. So if you want a fog and fracture, definitely try it out a few times. Also, try it on your color scheme before you do it on your countertop, because you're going to really tell if you like it or not. I also learned how much I love those fracture lines again. I mean, it looks super good on there. That looks awesome.
Yeah, that looks great.
It looks cool. It looks much more natural. The little swoops, not so much, but they're all right. Like, golly almighty.
And it's still moving.
It is. This is still going to move and meld and self-level for the next hour at least. But yeah, be sure to come back. Boo-boo. That's a little speck of something. Don't call customer service and ask how to do it. Watch this video. Just take your finger.
Pick up the epoxy with it.
Pick it up with it. That's good to go. I'm going to add more white though with that trowel, because that does look good. That's kind of adding the lacing effect without fogging and fracturing it. Good call, whoever did that, whoever told me that. Excellent. I'm sorry I already forgot who did it.
We had a retired firefighter in the chat, and he said he's getting heart palpitations.
Is he getting worried about that? I knew he would.
Worried.
You saw it, bro. It goes out. The epoxy itself is not flammable. The epoxy is heat resistant. One cured to like 450. It's definitely not food safe in this form. So don't be setting your food on top of this.
It'll get sticky anyway.
Mm-hmm.
How do you blend the epoxy if it's burnt? It's got a scab on it, I guess.
So you're right. This did not scab it. You can get those scabs from over torching, because that torch is thousands of degrees versus, that wasn't that hot burning the alcohol. I mean, it had a flame, but it wasn't the heat produced by a blowtorch. So if you have a scab, if you've over torched one area, that happens from staying stationary too long or being too close and not moving it. If that happens, what I do is I will take a stick, just like this, I'll break it in half or in thirds, whatever. Get a little pokey like that. And let's say my scab's right here. I will take my stick and I go right like this under the epoxy, get under the scab and lift it up. Just like that. And the scab's gonna be like hanging right there. Well, maybe I should just show them. Let's do it real quick.
Yeah.
I'll over torch this and scab it.
Someone was saying it's 3,500 degrees from the source.
See, when you do that, see how it smokes? It's never good. It still didn't scab it though. So also, folks, you got to be late in the process to scab it. Like I just torched the heck out of it, and all it did is make it super fluid. You see how liquidy it is? It's crazy compared to that. See?
Just skipping over the surface. It's fun when it does that.
Yeah, it's because it's too warm. Man, look, that kind of looks cool though. Hey, whew, don't breathe that. Ugh. So, our epoxy is VOC free until you overheat it and it smokes. Then it's VOC-ing in your face. So don't do that. Don't breathe it. But that does look sick compared. I'm gonna fix the piece.
It moves so fast.
You guys are learning a new technique here, live in the flesh. Kind of getting busy though.
I saw a little bead just change zip codes there.
You just flew over here, almost hit me in the pants, man. Okay, I think I've kept them long enough, Chris. Guys, what do you want me to quit or you want me to just try to screw this thing completely up? I think I'm quitting. I think I'm quitting. Quitting while I'm ahead. Edges look great over here, bro. I do have a little surface tension. All right, guys, I am gonna call it a night unless you start asking questions or something. I'm gonna be back out at RK3 Designs end of January. We're doing another Epoxy Pro class. It's gonna be awesome. Cannot wait for those. My favorite thing about those Epoxy Pro classes is watching folks who have never ever, like most of them never have used epoxy before in their entire life. They watch Rhonda make a piece, she sets them free, they go start making pieces. We come around, kind of help you, give you pointers. It's so much fun, and you're watching complete amateurs make stunning finishes that will be installable in customers' homes. Guys, thanks for joining me. Special guest, Big Mitch over on RK3 Designs. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks for watching. Crush the like button. Help Rhonda's channel grow. If you really want to help the channel grow, share the video with your friends on your social media or your favorite RK3 Designs video. Go share that right now. That helps the channel grow. That helps Rhonda be able to produce more content for you because she's getting paid. All right, folks, thanks for watching. And from RK3 Designs via Stone Coat Countertops, don't forget, you got this. And we'll see you at the next Epoxy Pro class out in January at RK3 Designs. Kenny, Rhonda, everybody, I love you. Thanks for letting me do this. I hope you'll have me back. And until next time, you got this.
Thanks, everybody.
Now I'm just gonna smear it all off. Hey, show them this though. Check this out. I lied, we're not gone. Check out those end tables I made the other day for my wife. These things were beat up and about to be thrown away. I did a pretty cool exotic pour inside of them.
That is pretty.
Right?
Yeah.
That video's dropping this Saturday. Stone Coat Countertops on YouTube. Hey, get in the comments of that video on Saturday. If you say, hey Mitch, I saw you on Rhonda's live. that piece was trash or I loved it. And I'm gonna pick one of y'all who gets in my comments and I'll send you a special present from Stone Coat Countertops. It is the Christmas, holiday, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa season. I'm feeling given. And guess what? I also have a Santa suit. I'm gonna be making a Santa video coming up. So you better subscribe to Stone Coat because it's gonna get wild here at the end of December. Peace. All right, that was fun.